No matter how hard you try, do you find it hard to stay focused and on track? In this video, we'll look at Miyamoto Musashi's timeless wisdom and show you the best ways to control your thoughts, form habits that you can't break, and reach your goals with unwavering discipline and focus. Lesson 1. Tie your habit to a location change. Habits aren't just in your head, they are deeply connected to the things around you. Musashi knew how important the situation was. He would look for new areas, landscapes, and situations to train in so that he could improve his skills. He knew that spending a lot of time in the same place could make him feel comfortable, while being in different places would push him to adapt and make him more aware. Connecting your habits to a change in where you live can also make you much more focused and disciplined. If you want to make reading a habit, don't do it at the same desk where you scroll through your phone. Get out of there and go to a park, library, or quiet area. If you want to relax or do deep work, move your space so that it makes you feel calm and focused. Your brain gets a message from this change in your body. This is the space for focused action. Musashi's lessons stress how important it is to pay attention on purpose. He would know everything about the fight before he went in, and you should do the same when you go into your habit space. Moving places makes you less distracted by things you normally do and pushes your mind to adapt, which makes you more aware and present. These habits that are linked to where you are become automatic over time. Your brain starts to link certain places with certain actions, which helps you be more disciplined without just using force. When you move to a new place to do a certain habit, you set off a brain trigger that makes it almost effortless to concentrate. You can have Musashi's attitude by planning where to do your most important habits. This way of thinking makes you deliberate, aware, and always ready to make a choice. Lesson 2. Use temptation bundling. When you link something you need to do with something you want to do, you're tempting yourself to do both. Musashi thought that desire and control should be balanced. He put his mind and body through a lot of hard work, but he also knew how to use drive to improve his skills. These days, temptation bundling lets you use your wants to drive you to take focused action. One way to make working out a regular habit is to only let yourself listen to your favorite music or program while you work out. If you want to study, have a small treat with it, like a favorite drink, but only while you are paying attention. This changes an activity that might feel like a chore into one that your brain connects with a prize, which makes you more likely to stick with it. It was never mindless practice that Musashi did when he trained. He tried to be efficient and took advantage of every chance to make things better. In the same way, temptation bundling works because it connects pleasure with success. This lowers your internal resistance and makes you more committed. Over time, it becomes easier to stay disciplined because the brain starts to expect a benefit. Start small with the things that tempt you. Find the things you really enjoy doing and only link them to things that help you reach your goals. Over time, this makes a positive feedback loop where discipline and pleasure can live together, similar to how Musashi learned both how to fight and how to use his mind to win. By using temptation in a smart way, you can make discipline not a battle but a natural, even fun process. Lesson 3. Shrink your tools. Musashi stressed keeping things simple and effective. He thought that success meant knowing what was important and getting rid of what wasn't. This idea is similar to shrinking your tools in the current world. It is easier to focus and build discipline when there are fewer things that can get in the way. For example, if you want to write every day, all you need is one notebook, one pen, or an easy text editor on your computer. Take away any tabs, alerts, or apps that you don't need and that might catch your eye. By cutting down on the number of tools you use, you make it easier to make decisions and reduce distractions, which lets you focus easily. Cutting down on your tools can also help you learn how to work with less. Musashi often trained with few things to push himself to be creative and get better. Too many tools or choices can be confusing, make it hard to focus, and make it take longer to get good at something. Today, it's still true, the less tools and choices you have to make, the more energy your mind has for the important job. First, take a look at your present tools and environment. Get rid of anything that isn't helping you reach your goal. Streamline, simplify, and make a habit or workspace that is clear and on purpose. That's not just true for real tools, it's also true for mental clutter. Cut down on thoughts, responsibilities, and distractions that aren't necessary. Musashi was the inspiration for the art of minimalism. By following it, you can make a space where focus and discipline come naturally instead of being constant struggles. Lesson 4. Practice, don't break the chain. The don't break the chain method is one of the best ways to set long-term goals and stay focused. The idea behind it is simple. Once you decide to do something every day, like a habit, write down how you're doing and try not to break your run. Over time, the unbreakable chain will show how consistent you are, which will encourage you to keep going even when you're not feeling like it. The life of Miyamoto Musashi is a great example of this idea. He didn't become a famous fighter overnight. He got better and better by practicing every day. He trained every day, no matter what the weather was like, how tired he was, or what problems he had to deal with. His skill was perfected by the chain of focused action that he kept up over time. Pick a trait that you want to make a must in your life before you start using this method. Every day, you could write, meditate, work out, or learn a new skill. Make sure to clearly mark each day that you stick to the habit on a calendar or an app that helps you track habits. It's important to keep the visual streak because it plays on your natural desire to avoid breaking trends. People are naturally driven to finish what they start, and the chain is a psychological motivator. No one wants to be the one who breaks a line of work that hasn't been broken. Musashi's lessons stress doing things on purpose. It's hard to understand the universe if you only look at one side of it, he said. Asterisk for him, success meant always focusing on, thinking about, and doing the same things over and over again in all parts of training. Today, practicing "don't break the chain" helps you develop the same mindset. You are determined to show up every day, even if progress seems small, because over time, regularity leads to mastery. One benefit of this practice that you might not know about is that it makes you less motivated. The need to keep the chain going can push you to act even when you're tired, busy, or not in the mood. Musashi knew that discipline was more important than short-lived feelings. If you show up regularly, you train your mind to value action over feelings. Your chain becomes a sign of who you are as it gets longer. You are no longer someone who only sometimes works toward their goals. You are someone who does it every day. Keeping up with your chain will slowly change your skills, your confidence, and your life, just like Musashi's daily practice made him stronger and more skilled. At the end of the day, success isn't about big jumps. It's about the small steps you take every day that you refuse to break. Lesson 5. Set a 1-minute timer. With the 1-minute timer, you commit to a job for only 1 minute. This is a good way to improve your focus and discipline. As Musashi said, think lightly of yourself and deeply of the world. This method helps get past mental resistance by making the job seem less scary and by stressing how important it is to act right away. The best thing about this method is that it makes it easier to start. People who tell themselves, "I'll work on this for just 60 seconds, often find that once they start, they keep going past that minute because of the energy they create. Setting the 1-minute timer also helps you develop mental control. It makes starting jobs a habit, which trains the brain to stop putting things off. Each 1-minute session is a small commitment that, over time, leads to better attention and more consistent work. This method is flexible and can be used for many things, like writing, studying, or working out. It makes difficult jobs seem doable. Short, timed practices boost confidence and lower anxiety, which leads to a rhythm of productivity where focusing becomes second nature. To get the most out of the 1-minute timer, it's helpful to use it along with other ways to focus, like telling your mind to focus and reducing distractions. After each session, look at how far you've come and how likely you are to keep going. Getting more done will often lead to longer sessions. In the end, the 1-minute timer represents an attitude of taking action right away and believing that small steps can lead to big results. Musashi's principles make it clear that you can only become a master by doing the same things over and over again with focus. By doing this simple but effective habit, you can stop putting things off, improve your attention, and develop the discipline you need to reach your goals. Lesson 6. Celebrate immediately. Celebrating right away when you finish a job is a surprisingly effective way to improve your discipline and focus. A lot of people don't do this easy thing because they think that being disciplined means never giving in or that success is only meaningful when the end goal is reached. But Miyamoto Musashi knew how important it was to recognize progress as it was made. He knew that every step along the way, every good strike, and every technique learned was important. Honoring small wins helps you keep up good behavior and teaches your brain to connect hard work with rewards. When you party right away, you make a mental shortcut that helps you form a habit. For instance, take a moment to recognize your progress when you finish a focused work session or a small step toward a bigger goal. One easy way to do this is to take a deep breath, say, "I did it," give yourself a fist pump, or even write in a book about the accomplishment. When you do something, you need to get a prize right away so your brain can connect the two. Over time, this teaches your mind to value hard work and regularity, which makes it easier to stay focused and disciplined even when things feel dull or hard. Musashi's life shows how important it is to get respect over time. He didn't wait until he was a famous samurai to be proud of his progress. He trained and thought about every duel, every kata, and every small step forward. Being aware of his progress all the time kept him engaged and on task, which helped him improve his skills over many years. In the same way, enjoying small wins gives you a boost of energy. Even small successes add up to big ones, making a steady flow of progress that drives more action. Celebration does something else too. It keeps people from getting burned out. Focusing very hard for long amounts of time can be mentally draining. If you don't acknowledge your brain, it may feel ignored and resistant, which makes it harder to stay disciplined. By giving yourself a reward right away, you boost your drive and show yourself how much you value your work. This doesn't have to be a long speech. Just a few seconds of thoughtful praise or a small treat can have a big effect on their mental health. Make celebrating a part of your daily life. Did you finish writing? Enjoy the moment by taking a few deep breaths and giving yourself a nod. Do some exercise? Give yourself a small treat right away. Each recognition improves the parts of your brain that are connected to work and reward. Every step of your training is important, just like Musashi thought it was important for him. By celebrating right away, you make discipline fun, long-lasting, and deeply rewarding. This turns focus from a battle into a natural, satisfying habit.